vibrant, fair-minded country. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, the changing of the guard. Here's how it went down in the House today.
I now pass this gavel, which is larger than most gavels here, the gavel of choice of Mr. Speaker Boehner. I now pass this. I now pass this gavel and the sacred trust that goes with it to the new Speaker. God bless you, Speaker Boehner.
Joining us now from West Palm Beach, Florida, the purveyor of DickMorris.com, Mr. Morris. Okay. First of all, just a personal note with Boehner. I don't really know him very well. I met him once, I think. The crying thing, is that what do you think? What do you think about that?
I got my crying out of the way as Obama was passing all these programs.
Well, what about the new speaker? He cries a lot. Does it matter?
I think the third time is a little too much, but we'll see.
If you were advising the speaker, would you say, and I think he's genuine in his emotion. I absolutely think it's genuine. It's not phony. Would you say maybe you don't want to do that so much?
You have to teach someone how not to cry.
Right.
And it's a speaking gimmick. It's a technique. You think of something that will not make you cry while something that would make you cry is happening.
Yeah, mind over matter. Okay. Now, the Republican Party, as we have been discussing, is basically coming in very, very aggressive. And I understand. I think that's a good strategy. I mean, they have to stake their turf out very, very quickly, but the American public is very impatient with what's been going on. But I do believe that the spending stuff far overrides the individual stuff like Obamacare. Am I wrong?
Well, I think they're hand in hand. I think the American people believe that the reason we are in economic constraints, in economic straits and difficulty, is the actions of the Obama administration, particularly the huge government spending and the expansion of Obamacare, or the creation of Obamacare. And I think they feel correctly that if they repeal that stuff, we could grow again economically.
But that's not going to happen, though. And we put out all the reasons why the vote is worthy.
It is.
No,
it's not.
Bill. Okay. Now here we go, Morris.
I believe that there you go, making another mistake again. I believe that by the end of 2011, Obamacare will be a dead letter.
Well, wait a minute. There's a difference between it being dead in the public, in the public arena.
No, but
President Obama is going to veto any attempt to throw this under the bus. I think that it would have been smarter if they took segments of it, and I do believe the courts may step in as well, because I've always said forcing people to buy insurance is unconstitutional. I believe that. I believe the Supreme Court will side with me. But President Obama isn't going to back away. He'll veto the House attempt, and I don't even think it's going to pass the Senate.
Look, Eileen and I have just finished a book called Revolt that's coming out in early March, late February. And we go into detail about how you have to manage these legislative confrontations. But, for example, when the debt limit comes up for a vote, the Republicans should say, okay, we'll raise the debt limit, but only if you cut spending.
Absolutely.
And not for next year. You've got to cut it for this year.
And that'll happen. But you're dodging the essential question.
And when the budget comes up, the budget comes up, let me answer you. And when the budget comes up, like for the IRS or for HHS, the Republicans have to say, we will appropriate money for these agencies, but only if you eliminate funds to enforce Obamacare, and only if you make it a criminal penalty to transfer money into these programs.
He's not going to do it.
And if Obama doesn't go along with it, vetoes it, then we'll have a government shutdown. And the issue will be Obamacare, and the Republicans will win that.
I don't think the Republicans will take it.
People oppose Obamacare.
I don't think the Republicans are going to take it that far, because every time we try this government shutdown stuff, it flips back against the party who does. Look, far more practical and reasonable.
But it's wrong.
All right. You say there's going to be a revolt, and I say there isn't.
But
Period.
I ran the last confrontation about the government shutdown, and I was the guy that basically won it. The government shutdown representing Clinton against the Congress. And there's a misconception. People think the reason the Republicans lost that is because they were so extreme they shut down the government. That's a Washington interpretation. The fact of the matter is the reason the Republicans lost it is they wanted to cut Medicare. And when they included Medicare cuts in their budget, that budget was dead.
It doesn't
and the
really
public was
matter
not
at this
willing
point
to let
why
it
they
happen.
lost. What matters is they did lose. Now,
No,
let's
it does
establish
matter,
a few
Bill, 'cause
things.
If we avoid
you're
that
getting
mistake, this time
way
we'll be
out
okay.
there. You're getting way out there, and I want to bring it back. Well, let's establish a few things. President Obama is not going to allow the House of Representatives to gut Obamacare. Would you agree with that?
He's going to try not to, but
Okay.
we're going to force him to.
And we're going to force him to. Okay. Say you do get him to a place where he has to make a decision. I tell you that Barack Obama will not, whether it costs him re-election or not, give in on this issue. He won't.
Well,
No matter what
who
you
knows?
do, no matter
But I
how
do-
many books you write,
but I do-
no matter how many times you run around the White House screaming, he's not going to do it. Will not do it.
Look, yeah, then you may not have a government budget, and the government may shut down
All right,
for
so
a
the
year.
chaos ensues,
Ameri-
and then the American people have to
Yeah.
decide what's better.
Exactly.
Waiting till
And we
212 to
would
vote
love-
out
and
the
the
president.
Republicans.
Wait a minute, but Morris, look, it's 2 years away that we get a new president. If President Obama continues to do what he's done the last 2 years, he's done. I don't think the American public want the government to blow up in 2012. They're willing to wait the 2 years to get a Republican president, and then Obamacare goes out the window. Let's be realistic about the time frame.
Yeah, but in the meantime, the steps that are necessary to take to create Obamacare, to implement it, to enforce it, have to be blocked. And I think the Republican, because then if you don't, it'll be way
I think
too
that
late.
they can
Doctors will
try
have
to
quit,
do that, and
rationing
again,
will
I
have
favor
ensued, Medicare
doing.
cuts will have happened.
All right. I favor doing some of that, but I do not favor blocking the whole government and taking it down. I think that the
But
Republicans
they'll
should
be
stake out what they
fundamental-
want and put the president in a position to either say yes or no, and then bide their time for 2 years until the Republicans can win, and they absolutely can if the economy doesn't improve. I'll give you the last word. God help
Yeah.
me.
I don't think they bide their time. I think that they state what they want, they attach it to legislation that Obama needs to sign, and they force him in that direction. And if Obama doesn't do it, they play chicken with him, just like they did on the Bush tax cut extension. And just as he folded then, he's going to fold again.
Not on health care. Dick Morris, everybody. There he is. Good debate.